I don't think fair has anything to do with how much you should pay Pilates instructors in your studio. There are two numbers that are relevant to how much you should pay. One is how much the instructor is prepared to accept, and the second number is how much the studio can afford to pay the instructor. And if those two numbers overlap, great, we can work together. And if not, it's not a fit. Here's how to calculate how much your studio can afford to pay Pilates instructors. Of your total revenue for the business, about 1/3 should go to labour. That is, in other words, paying your instructors, paying your desk staff if you have them. About 1/3 should go to other expenses, rent, marketing, insurance, electricity, etc., leaving 1/3 in profit for the owner. Let's take a look at a couple of examples, one where that goes right and one where people commonly get it wrong. Just say you have 10 reformers and you charge $25 per session and you are on average 80% full over the month. Your average revenue per class is going to be $200. Using the rule of thirds, 1/3 of that is going to be $67 for the instructor, leaving $67 for overhead and $67 for the owner. And I would say this is a scenario where it is done right. Let's look at another scenario where I think people get into trouble. So just say you have 6 reformers and you charge $25 per session and you are on average 80% full. Well, then your average revenue per session is going to be $120, meaning that what you can afford to pay your instructor is $40. But just say you don't pay your instructor $40, because that's kind of a low amount to pay. Just say you want to pay your instructor $67, because you think, I'm a nice person, I'm going to pay a fair wage. So now you've paid your instructor $67. You've still got your $40 for overhead, which is 1/3 of your revenue. That is $107, leaving $13 for the owner. What is wrong with this picture? Well, the owner is now essentially running a non-profit, and the instructor is getting paid more than 4 times what the owner is getting paid, despite the fact that the owner's the one taking all the risk and they put their mortgage up against buying the equipment probably. So how do you fix this? Well, the owner has a few options here. One, they could accept that if they run this business model, 6 reformers at $25 a session, they can only afford to pay $40. So they can't employ this person who wants $67. They have to find somebody who's willing to work for $40. Or the owner could put their price up. Now, to put their price up so that they can afford to pay $67, they would need to generate $200 in revenue, which means they would need to charge $43 or $42 per session. So that would need to go up to 42 or 43, or they can put in 10 reformers. So those are the options here. We can either pay someone 1/3, or we can increase our price or increase the number of reformers in the room, or we can just accept that we are running a not-for-profit organisation. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.